Good morning. These are your Tribune highlights for Friday, March 13th, 2026, brought to you by Your Daily Bahamas Headlines, especially for people on the go and those who are visually impaired. Leading the news today, a major development in a high-profile international drug smuggling case. Malcolm Goodman, the captain of a vessel intercepted with more than $4 million worth of cocaine, is expected to change his plea and admit guilt in a United States court. Prosecutors say Goodman was the only person aboard the 45-foot vessel when it was stopped by the U.S. Coast Guard near Florida last month. Authorities reported finding roughly 200 kilograms of cocaine on board. Initially, Goodman had pleaded not guilty, but court filings now indicate his attorney has notified the court that negotiations with prosecutors have resulted in a planned guilty plea. If convicted, he could face a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years in prison. The case has attracted significant attention because of the scale of the alleged smuggling operation and its connection to the Bahamas. The development also comes as authorities on both sides of the region continue efforts to disrupt narcotics trafficking routes through Caribbean waters. In other national news, Prime Minister Philip Davis says the next general election will be held soon, though he did not reveal a specific date. Speaking to reporters, the Prime Minister indicated that the government is preparing for the election and intends to campaign on its record in office. Political observers say the announcement signals that the country could be heading into a more active campaign season in the coming months. Also making news, Progressive Liberal Party candidate Sabas Bastian has unveiled a technology and culture hub in Fort Charlotte. The project aims to provide training, entrepreneurship, opportunities, and community programs designed to help young people develop skills in areas such as technology, business, and creative industries. Turning to the business section, one of the leading stories focuses on criticism of the government's decision to eliminate VAT on certain uncooked food items. Critics argue that removing VAT from those items could undermine the principles of the value-added tax system and may result in businesses increasing prices on other goods to offset the loss. The Tax Coalition has suggested the benefits to consumers may be smaller than expected, warning that the policy could shift costs elsewhere in the economy. Another business story explores a proposed artificial intelligence hub in Mayaguana that supporters say could generate billions of dollars in economic activity and potentially create tens of thousands of jobs. The plan envisions building an AI-focused economy on the island, but analysts say major infrastructure, housing, and logistics challenges would need to be addressed for the project to become a reality. In additional business news, a renewable energy provider says it is targeting final approvals by the second quarter of the year for a large power project intended to supply electricity to Abaco and Eleuthera. On the opinion pages, the editorial titled "Where Has the Money Gone?" raises concerns about continued delays in payments to healthcare providers under the National Health Insurance Program. The piece argues that doctors and laboratories have gone months without being paid and warns that the situation is damaging confidence in the system and disrupting healthcare services. The editorial questions how funds allocated to the program are being managed and calls for greater transparency and accountability from government. In letters to the editor, one writer discusses the implications of a recent court decision related to the government's arbitration dispute with the Grand Bahama Port Authority, suggesting the ruling reinforces the importance of properly presenting claims during arbitration. Another letter urges stronger environmental enforcement after the cutting of historic coconut trees in Nassau, arguing that the loss of such natural heritage diminishes the beauty and character of the city. Elsewhere in the news, a Bahamian teacher living in Kuwait says she is relying on her faith while tensions rise in the Gulf region, while doctors are again warning that payment delays are causing some providers to withdraw from the National Health Insurance Program. Before we go, a special birthday tribute is featured for veteran journalist and former Tribune publisher Eileen Dupushkaran, who is celebrating her 96th birthday and is widely recognized for her decades of contributions to journalism and public life in the Bahamas. For the full details on these stories and many more, be sure to purchase a copy of today's Tribune or visit tribune242.com. As always, remember that an informed nation is a stronger nation. One wise saying reminds us that knowledge is the compass that guides responsible citizenship. Enjoy your day.